Yeah,
But yeah, who
exactly.
knows?
So the next
So
story is another really interesting one I didn't see anybody talking about. And it
okay.
Hypocrite CEOs. And again, one of my favorites, Judd Legum, popular information. Everybody follow him. Before we get started on this,
Strange meeting at the White House. Yeah, go ahead.
before we, you know what, before we get started on this story, let's go back to just you and me. Let's say hi to people in chat. Holy shit, there's a bunch of people here. Um,
Yeah.
Ed,
Vegan
what's going on? I see Ed's
succubus.
chatting it up. Ed's in here. Vegan Succubus,
Yeah.
welcome. Steve Cutler, what's happening? Valerie,
Fine.
Warren. So a bunch of people in here. Glad to see everybody. Thank you for coming. Really cool. Bunch of stories here, and then we're gonna have some fun Reddit cringe with Reef later. So let's go back to the stories, and let's go back to Judd. Strange meeting at the White House. So I don't really follow what Joe Biden's doing on a day-to-day basis, but this one's kind of hilarious, right? So
Yeah.
on Wednesday, he meets
Well,
with private.
this is the one where he was like, "Yeah, I like driving around in that Hummer."
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
That was this
And he
shit.
couldn't remember.
Yeah.
And he couldn't remember where, right?
I
And
don't remember where or what it was or what happened or like he knew people were upset, but like just like, oh please help him, please.
hilarious,
You know?
hilarious. So Biden has the private sector CEOs to talk about Build Back Better can grow the economy, even though
oh yeah,
didn't Build
yeah,
Back Better fail? Like, or this is the the part of the one that did pass, okay? But the group of 10 executives include Mary Barra from GM and Jim Farley from Ford, Mark Benioff, our favorite World Economic Forum friend, DNC shill. The White House told CNBC all the executives attending the meeting support passing the Build Back Better Act, right? The proposal would make generational investments in education and childcare and clean energy and climate. Love
I
it.
got a bridge to tell you.
Well, no, those things might even be true, which they're corporate cash
Yeah.
giveaways, but that's another story for another day.
Yep.
Okay, but first up was Tom Lineberger, CEO of Cummins, right? Tom Lineberger. Sorry, I don't want to get his name wrong.
And Cummins.
Oh,
Both of those are funny names.
Cummins makes diesel engines. All right,
Diesel
they're
engines, yeah.
world famous.
Yeah,
So
either that or Peterbilt.
So,
You know.
CEO says Linebarger, says, climate change is existential challenge of our time, and didn't want to tell his grandkids that he failed to make every effort. Platitudes upon this is DNC speak all day long, right? CBS,
It's
CBS,
it's,
dude. This is, but this is like the veneer for the cameras to have the conversation. But wait. There's more. All right, so you've got Brad Smith from Microsoft, who did more of what Biden was looking for, not only endorsing the climate provisions, but also provisions related to childcare and education. And
please don't let Bill anywhere near my children. But
no, don't go near my little girls. People can only come back to work if they have a way to take care of their children. We have to get more Americans back to work. There you go. Back to work, fuckers.
Fucking pitchforking them right out into the fucking.
The last CEO to speak to the. All right, so it was Mary Barra, who was much more circumspect. I love Judd's so good. All right, Barra says she was attending to speak about climate change and our aligned goal as it relates to converting to an all-electric future. And she said that she looked forward to working with you in Congress on tax credits for EV vehicles, which. Of course she does, because that makes a ton of money for GM.
That would make her money, yes.
She also encouraged Biden to back a proposal that would devote $52 billion to improving the domestic supply chain for semiconductors, chips. We have a huge chip shortage going on in this world right now, calling it a national imperative. Right, because they can't make enough cars. That's the thing.
Right.
They can't keep... Cars can't stay on the lot. All right?
Yep.
She pointedly did not discuss any other aspect of BBB, and Biden, of course, didn't ask. But what she also didn't mention is that she's the chair of the Business Roundtable, and here's where we get into the dirty. And I think we might have talked about Business Roundtable once before.
We have before, I think,
What is the Business Roundtable? It's a corporate lobbying group that spent millions opposing Build Back Better. And he's got all these members of the round table there talking about how much they love Build Back Better while they go back to their office and they fund this shit, okay, which is now spending millions of dollars on Facebook ads and wherever else to oppose this and influence people to
right
against
at the same time trying to get whatever they wanted out of it, you know, just in case it goes through. Like it
right? So do they now support Build Back Better? Has the Business Roundtable decided to drop its opposition? Well, of course, our inquiries have gone unreturned at Popular Information. Thank you, Judd. He's so good. He's a Robbie Yeager. He's a Donnie. He stays on the money. All right. Business Roundtable did not seek to work with the White House or Congress to make Build Back Better more business-friendly. Instead, it launched a public campaign to kill the bill, arguing it would be catastrophic to the American economy. Again, I don't necessarily agree that Build Back Better was the greatest thing ever, but the point is the hypocrisy here.
Your economy. Yeah, right.
The point is the blatant, naked hypocrisy in what's going on here. Okay, now, Mary Barr just became chair of the Business Roundtable, but she's been a member of leadership for years. She's known exactly what's going on here. And she's helped orchestrate a campaign like this, or at least not been opposed to it, and allowed it to happen. All right? Now, again, she's the CEO of General Motors. So it's not like running the Business Roundtable is what she's focused on, maybe even 1 hour a week, honestly. That would be my guess. All right? However, that Business Roundtable is incredibly powerful and has a ton of influence because of the CEOs that are involved. So when the House passed it in November, Business Roundtable released a statement saying it was disappointed that the House voted in favor of one of the largest tax increases in the history of American job creators, and that the legislation would erode America's competitive standing and favor foreign competitors over American businesses and workers. Give me a break. Business Roundtable's opposition extended far beyond press releases. Okay, the organization has spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on Facebook ads designed to create grassroots opposition to BBB. And of course, my brother Judd brings receipts. Love it.
Receipts.
All right. So, one such ad that ran in December targeting West Virginia voters and asking them to contact Congress and tell them to say no to tax increases and protect West Virginia jobs. And who's that targeting? Joe Manchin.
Yep.
Right? They created a TV advertisement casting BBBs as a gift to America's foreign rivals. Again, foreigners, fear-mongering, fear. Here, just January 20th. This is like the day that they went to the week before they went to the White House. This Business Roundtable has given no indication that it's changed its position on Build Back Better. The org has tweeted about its opposition as recently as a week ago. And here's why the White House is playing along. Love this dude. He breaks it down. So it's clear why Mary Barra would attend a White House meeting. They want to appear dedicated to tackling climate change and other important issues. They don't want the reputation for undermining popular policies. But also, he agreed to electrify the entire U.S. fleet by 2030. And she stands to be one of the biggest benefactors that there is. Because General Motors, they're going to have to buy American, right? So you're basically talking about, you handed that to 3 companies, effectively at this point. Now, you have a lot of electric manufacturers now that are popping up in the United States specifically because of this. And it's spurring innovation, but it's also got some of these heavies involved. For example, so this is what happened. Biden wanted to get headlines like this: CEO support for his economic agenda. Yep. But this gives him the appearance of momentum. Of course, platitudes and appearances, when under the surface, even just slightly, it's nothing close to that. All right. And the public deserves to know the truth. So good. Yep. We need more guys writing like this. Again, he's He's definitely a liberal. He's to the liberal side. Not necessarily a leftist, but I just love how much this guy chases the money. He's a tiger, and we need more like him.